How do you think this team, this Browns team, will handle the high expectations in their national expectations, their local expectations? How do you think they handle the high expectations this year?
So, Dave, thinking about this question, you could zone in on the offense, all the big game playmakers. There's only one football. How does Baker distribute? I focus on the defense. Let's face it. The consensus is that the Browns had one of the worst defenses in the NFL last year, particularly in their pass coverage. Now the consensus is that the Cleveland Browns will have one of the most improved defenses in the National Football League. How do you manage those expectations when in week one, where overreactions live, you're going to have to go to Kansas City with potentially 8 new defensive starters in that unit? So how does this defense handle the elevated expectations? I am really, really intrigued to see how Andrew Billings plays a role. We expect that he's going to play a major role for this team. He opted out last year due to COVID-19. What is he going to do for this defense? What is Malik Jackson, a guy like that, going to do for the Browns? And then I zone in on the linebacker core. Because if there were still an area where I say to myself, okay, I think the Browns are going to be better in that area, but I'm still uncertain. Dave, I still zone in on the linebackers. I think Anthony Walker is going to add an experienced presence, someone who can make plays, and is going to be someone that they can count on. Sione Takitaki has made big plays, but has also shown us at times that he needs to work on certain things. And then you bring in Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and you're expecting him to play a role in your defense. He's labeled as a potential steal in the NFL draft. What is he going to do in this linebacker core? So I'm confident that I think the Browns, with bringing in John Johnson III, bringing in Troy Hill, that secondary is going to be better. But I do look at the fact that last year they were not really able to apply pressure to quarterbacks. If you're going to apply pressure to quarterbacks, it means that you have faith. You have faith in what you have in your pass coverage. You have faith in whichever linebackers are dropping back. So I'm wondering about that more than anything. And that's where I say to myself, with all the new starters and a consensus that they're going to be a potentially really good defense, you've got to handle it and really almost humble yourselves during training camp to try to build this thing up the right way. I'm not as worried about the offense because we've seen them prove last year. The only element that's kind of back in the equation is Odell Beckham Jr., but I expect things are going to get hashed out there. The defense is where I do wonder about how they manage expectations. And I think the way you manage expectations is you have to sort of take it day by day and remember what happened last year. There might be a lot of new faces, but the message has to be sent. Hey, guys, this defense was not good last year, and if we're going to build this the right way, this is how we have to do it during training camp.